Today marks the end of the mini-series where I've been debunking Mark Sargent's Flat Earth Clues videos. My goal was to ensure that if people searched for Flat Earth Clues on YouTube, they not only found Mark's videos, but also this mini-series of videos debunking them. Let's hope I've been successful, hey? Here we go. Hello all and welcome along to another video with me, Simon Dan. Thanks very much for joining me. Right then, let's get this series finished, shall we? If you want to see any of the other videos from this series, there is a playlist. The link is in the description. Check them out at your leisure. And this particular episode is called Are You Sure? Yes, Mark, we are, but I guess you're going to try anyway. Here we go.
If you look online for the 5 stages of grief, the most common breakdown is as follows: denial, anger, bargaining, depression, and acceptance. As I was walking the other day, my mind drifted to future debates with members of the academic community. Like the first few moves on the chessboard, the opening lines of the Flat Earth debate seemed to start out the same way.
Laughter, I imagine. Sorry, please continue.
The scientist says, well, as any reasonable, well-educated person will tell you, the Earth is a globe. It's just common knowledge. And I say, of course it is. We've all been told this since we were children. I believed it as well. And really, so did almost everyone in the Flat Earth community. Until one day we didn't.
A tricky tactic here from Mark, the "we were lied to" narrative. It makes rejecting the globe feel like some heroic act of independence, when in reality it's just swapping the evidence-based model of the world for one built entirely on suspicion.
You state that it's a globe. Are you sure?
Yes, I am sure. Extremely sure.
The scientist's first response to this is always the same: knee-jerk and immediate. The world is not flat. It's a globe. Thousands of other scientists all over the world will agree with me, citing mountains of empirical data, using multiple tests, that it is 100% spherical. Even considering the archaic idea that the world is flat is nothing short of educational incompetence, bordering on a deliberate anti-intellectual movement that, if went unchecked, would plunge us into darkness and bring about the end of civilization as we know it.
Well, I wouldn't go that far. Flat Earth is never going to get that big, for starters.
And I say, I understand your unwillingness to look at it. As a member of the scientific community, your globe conditioning goes years past the average man on the street who only had to look at the silent globe sitting in their classroom for 12 years, plus all the infinite space programming from news and entertainment media that continued all the way until now. Let's just say that you could resist the impulse to look away and examine the evidence. Would you still say it was a globe?
Yes, because I've examined all the evidence and it's nonsense. None of it works, and actually none of it is even evidence, so...
Are you sure? And the scientist's tone deepens. It is insulting that you or anyone would even ask such a question. My beliefs aren't based on science fiction, but science fact. Anyone that believes otherwise should be forced into strenuous psychiatric tests, followed by electroshock therapy. And if that doesn't work, the uneducated, delusional soul should be put down.
That's a bit strong. I say you can think what you want, just don't spread it all over the internet if it's incorrect.
I don't know why this idea upsets me more than any other fringe concept, but I feel compelled to insult the person introducing the topic to me.
I won't insult you, Mark. I'll just criticize what you are saying. There is a difference.
Science is right, whether you believe in it or not. And I say, I understand your anger, your frustration. Flat Earth implies that the most important core concept of science, that being the properties of the world itself, are in question. And if that is the case, then every other aspect of science, from all the studies of the ground below us to the mysteries of the sky and beyond, have to be re-examined.
This sounds profound, but it's actually the conspiracy mindset in a single sentence. It's the if one thing's wrong, then everything's wrong mentality. But of course, that's not how science works. Science doesn't collapse when a model changes, it adapts. When relativity refined Newtonian physics, engineers didn't start denying that gravity existed. The entire framework didn't need to be scrapped, it evolved with evidence.
No one wants to start over from the ground up, and scientists have been, well, sitting together for a very long time on a high metaphorical perch, never questioning what would happen if the foundations that their institution was built on weren't as solid as they had always thought. But if you could put aside that anger just for a few moments, would you still think it was a globe? Are you sure?
Yes, Mark, I'm sure. As sure as I was 5 minutes ago.
And the scientist's eyes grow desperate and strained. Look, he says, I'm not blind to the secrets that men in power keep. I'm not ignorant to the idea of sinister conspiracies in the world. I've known people like you, thinking that nothing can be trusted. Heck, I've had friends who have gone down those roads. Was 9/11 an inside job? Did a lone gunman kill Kennedy? Was Pearl Harbor a setup to win the war? All these things I can look at with reasonable criticisms. I've even looked at the American moon program being fake. But Flat Earth is so far beyond that it defies any sense of credibility.
Look, real conspiracies are limited, documented, and eventually exposed, because they involve a small number of people and leave paper trails. The Flat Earth conspiracy, on the other hand, would require centuries of coordinated silence across every government, every space agency, every university, every airline pilot, and even every amateur astronomer. That's not a cover-up, that's a logistical impossibility.
Even entertaining the idea briefly fills me with uncertainty that encroaches on reality itself. The world around us is real, and my place in it is stable and understood. And I say, no one likes being tricked or conned or lied to, especially by people in positions of authority, even if the reason behind it seems acceptable. People in power lie for many reasons, but one of the easiest is this: what you don't know won't hurt you.
Now, Mark is appealing to resentment here. Everyone's been lied to at some point. So he uses that universal feeling to erode trust in science. It's the perfect soundbite for a conspiracy audience, to be honest. Suspicious, cynical, and impossible to disprove. Very sneaky, Mark.
Mainstream science knows at the very least that the Mercator map is extremely inaccurate, but they won't replace it because it's easier to keep the status quo.
The Mercator projection isn't a lie, it's a tool, essentially designed for navigation, not for geography lessons. It preserves compass bearings for sailors, but it distorts land size near the poles. Every cartographer knows this, and it's literally written in the map's description. That's why we also use other projections, like Gall, Peters and Robinson when it comes to teaching geography. So the claim that they won't replace it is just wrong. We already have replaced it in most contexts. Google Maps even uses a different projection entirely. The Mercator projection isn't evidence of a cover-up, it's evidence of someone misunderstanding what a projection actually is.
The scientist's head is spinning now. The institution of science cannot fall. Millions of hours of research, equation after equation, stacked on top of each other for centuries, all would come crashing down almost overnight. Every scientific sector, every university science department would have to rebuild their models. It would be chaos. Without science leading humanity, there would be no intellectual compass, no guidance. The greatest living minds would become freshmen again. And I say, It's upsetting to be sure, but it's not the end. It could quite possibly be the new beginning that this civilization has always needed. Think of what science could accomplish if it was allowed to break free of the universe laws it created.
Science doesn't create the laws of the universe, it discovers them. If new verifiable data ever showed that the Earth is flat, which it won't by the way, but let's say it did for a second, the scientific community wouldn't collapse. It would celebrate the discovery and rewrite the textbooks. That is literally how science progresses. It's a self-correcting system. When we discovered relativity, quantum mechanics, plate tectonics, DNA, the world didn't descend into chaos, it advanced. Flat earthers just don't like the fact that science can change because it shows humility, not control. I don't think I can listen to one more second of this utter drivel. Thank you so much if you followed me all the way to the end of this series. It is very much appreciated. Please do let me know in the comments below what you thought of this one and the entire series in general. As I say, we're all done and dusted for another one. Thanks so much for watching today. It's very much appreciated. If you enjoyed it, please do consider subscribing to the channel and hitting the thumbs up button too. I've been Simon Dan. Have yourselves a great day and I'll see you tomorrow for a David Weiss interview with a man who has proof that the moon map is Earth. Of course he has. See you then.